boys and girls, it's Jeff Armbruster here with It Starts With Change, and today we are in cooking mode. We are going to show you guys a healthy alternative to Philly cheesesteaks. We're going to be using chicken. We're going to be using some avocado oil to cook on, which is a little bit healthier version than canola or vegetable oil. So we're going to be using that. We're going to be using very fresh ingredients. You know, we have fresh green peppers and onions. We're going to be using organic chicken breast, as you can see here, and we have some low-carb provolone cheese. The cheese is optional. Obviously, cheese is going to be the fattier part other than the bun, but obviously when you guys are eating your sandwiches, you can actually choose to not put the cheese in it, or possibly not even use the bun, or maybe like what I like to do sometimes, like a half a bun. So anyways, let's get started. The first thing we have to do is base our grill, and we're using a 36-inch Blackstone Pro Series, which you're going to be able to learn more about in some of our other videos. But the Blackstone grill is just an awesome alternative to the traditional grill. It's actually a griddle, right? So we are going to use the Blackstone. We use it for so many different things, from breakfasts to you know, hibachi. There's so many healthy meals, and all the meals that we're going to be featuring on our channel for this healthy series of cooking is going to be done on the Blackstone. So you'll be seeing other videos as well. We already, for time purposes, got the grill up to temperature. So we're just basing our grill right now so our things don't stick and burn and scorch. And we're going to get our meat and our chicken going right away. So again, I mentioned that we're cooking it with organic chicken breast. Obviously, you know, it's a little bit healthier, a little bit cleaner for you, but you can use any chicken breast. And we should have enough here for 2 to 3 servings. You might even get a fourth out of it, depending on how big you make your sandwiches. Look at that awesome Blackstone sizzle. And the key ingredient, obviously, in making these taste, you know, that traditional Philly cheesesteak, is obviously the cheesesteak seasoning itself. We're using the Blackstone cheesesteak, as you can see, which you're going to see in some of our links below. You can get that, as well as the grill itself. But we're going to be using the Blackstone cheesesteak seasoning. It's really good. It gives the chicken that steak, you know, seasoning taste. But we're obviously using chicken, which is a little bit healthier for you. So we're going to let this just brown up a little bit before we put some seasoning down. The great thing about the Blackstone is things cook on this thing at warp speed, especially when it's at temperature. These Blackstones get anywhere from, you know, on the low end, 400 to 700 to 800 degrees. So what you're actually doing with these seasonings or any sauces you use for anything else, you're actually searing that taste, searing that seasoning right into the meat itself. And as you can see from the video here, we're already getting a nice cook on this chicken. Now, chicken's one of those types of meat that you want to make sure is thoroughly cooked through, because you can obviously get sick from not having, you know, your chicken be cooked enough or a little bit undercooked. So we want to make sure that that is cooking very well. We're also going to throw in our veggies now, so they cook and saute a little bit, so they're ready for when we're ready to put these sandwiches together. And again, these are just straight onions and green peppers. Let these things cook up a little bit. Now what you can do with these, and we don't have it out here today, is you can actually get a basting cover and pop those on there. The basting cover is going to give you a great opportunity, a great option for those vegetables to cook a little bit more thorough, and actually you squirt a little water underneath it, and you can actually steam them and saute them and cook them in a much quicker fashion. I actually might have one of our assistants running to get me that basting top right now, so we're going to utilize that here in a second. This chicken is browning up very quickly. Now I like to, when I'm cooking this chicken too, sometimes shred it into a little bit smaller, finer pieces. I want to thank our lovely assistant for going to get me this top. Now what I'm going to do right now is squirt a little bit of water around these things, just to give it that steam effect. And then you go ahead and cover these things right up. And it's actually kind of acting as like almost like a rice steamer underneath there. And as I mentioned before, I like sometimes to shred these a little bit smaller, finer pieces. Now this series of videos we're going to be making what we call healthier options for the Blackstone, you know, with a little bit more low calorie than some of your traditional cooks that people will enjoy on their Blackstone. These are going to be little healthier options, and you know, right from today's cheesesteak, Philly chicken cheesesteak. We're going to do a shrimp recipe. We're going to do a healthy hibachi in one of our videos, and you're going to see all those links below. Let's check on our vegetables. And they cook 3 or 4 times faster when you're using these basting covers, especially when you're providing some water on there. Alright, we're at a point right now where we can add our first hit of seasoning. Again, this seasoning is what really makes this chicken. And this is really going to sear right into the meat. And as this meat cooks, it becomes easier and easier as it cooks up to shred it and make it into smaller pieces. These spatulas really are great and sharp, and they act as an additional tool and when you're cooking. That should be enough seasoning to cook it, and then what I always do is I add one little final hit of it toward the very end for taste. Go ahead and check on our veggies. They're starting to brown up and cook through very easily. These are the same things. You can tell when they're cooking because they easily cut and they become very, very pliable, very, very moist. I would say these veggies have about another 2 to 3 minutes and they'll be ready for it. I'm going to pop these things off to the top so we can throw our bread on and get our bread nice and hot. Throw a little bit more oil down. And we're going to go ahead and throw our sandwiches down. I like to take our hoagie rolls face down so they're nice and grilled. And we actually have a tortilla here. We're going to show you guys a low-cal option even to the bread. It is a carb conscious tortilla roll. So we're going to do that at the very end. We might even throw that on the grill just for a quick second just to heat up. That chicken is just about done. Looks nice and cooked through. Again, we'll throw that final seasoning of seasoning on there right toward the end. I like to take these sandwiches and give them a little bit of extra push to get those things cooked. And you can just glance under there and see if they're starting to brown up a little bit, and they are. Nice and brown. Okay, we're at the point right now where we're going to throw some cheese down. Now again, cheese is optional. You guys can decide if you want to put cheese on it, but cheese is what makes a Philly cheesesteak, right? We just go ahead and throw the cheese chunks right on top of the meat. They will go ahead and melt. I'm going to move that nice and tucked under there together. You can already see that cheese starting to melt right on the meat. See, I'm going to steal this thing for a second, and that'll help that cheese really cook, and these veggies are done. The great thing about this meal, it's very simple to make, it's very easy to make, and as you can see from the grill, it doesn't produce a lot of residue, so the cleanup on this thing should be pretty easy. Watch this when I take this top off. That cheese is all nice and melted right on there. Gonna give this a couple more seconds. Check our buns. Almost there. I'm going to take our platter here in a second. Put this final hit of seasoning on. Grab our platter. I'm going to pull these off to the side. We're going to take a little bit of our first meat, throw it right on there. A little bit of our second meat, throw it on there. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this and put it in the tortilla. Come back to this in a second. Take a few of our veggies, spread them through the sandwich. And there you have it. We have a chicken Philly cheesesteak with melted provolone, onions, and green peppers. This is how you basically make this. It's very low cal, very healthy. Obviously, the less bread, the less that you can do as far as carb wise, the better. But a healthy alternative, you have your healthy low carb tortilla. So guys, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking the video. And that little bell below is going to give you all the notifications when we make future recipes and our future, the other 4-part series in our healthy cooking. The videos will be below there. Check out our website, startswithchange.com. We're going to have the full recipe on there. This has been Jeff Armbruster with startswithchange.com. Bon appetit.